In 2007, I went to a community meeting in East Baltimore about a red line project that was slated to potentially come out of the ground quite close to where I live. At the time, there were a number of options on the table as to how it would run through Baltimore, and there were a number of things that didn't quite make sense. So I started asking questions on the behalf of my community association, and the answers that I got back were half answers or diversionary and didn't really answer my questions. And through both the community involvement and the CAC, the Red Line Citizens Advisory Council, I met a number of other people who also were concerned that the Red Line didn't do what was being advertised and needed improvement because otherwise Baltimore would never be on its way to a transit system that works and is connected, and that people will actually ride who have another alternative. And out of that, the Right Rail Coalition was formed to advocate for better transit in Baltimore.
The Right Rail Coalition is a group of very concerned and very engaged citizens who believe that Baltimore needs an improved and enhanced transit system, but that the current Red Line plan is not the answer.
The reason I've stayed involved in this and the goal of the Right Rail Coalition is to make transit better for Baltimore. We actually think we're the only real Red Line supporters, or of the few, because we know that the project as penned, as planned, and as being pushed doesn't make transit better for Baltimore and has a number of huge issues, including the cost, lack of connectivity, lack of speed, that will make it into, for lack of a better term, a boondoggle. And what we're trying to do is, before it's too late, make a transit plan for Baltimore that will really work. And it doesn't require starting over. We're already most of the way there. We just have to think about it a little bit harder. And we have that plan, at least the framework for it, and a number of details worked out and ready to go.
Our alternative does two things, two principal things. Number one, it takes advantage of the existing metro system, which is really a world-class system, and if it ran to more areas, would be comparable to any major subway system in the world. New York, Paris, Chicago, you name it. Our proposal is to extend that system from its current end under the Johns Hopkins Hospital at Broadway and carry it out to Bayview, taking advantage of the existing Amtrak right-of-way, which would make most of that route a surface route and would require very little existing tunneling. The other aspect of it is to create a transit hub at Lexington Market so that people coming in from the west side would be able to very quickly and efficiently transfer from a light rail system coming in from the west side, which is part of the current Red Line plan, and then get on the metro and go wherever they wanted as far out as Bayview.
People think it's a subway system. People see a subway in New York or in Washington, D.C. or our existing metro line and think the Red Line is going to work like that. People have been on a subway train when it's starting and stopping, and you get thrown if you're not sitting down or holding on. The Red Line won't be like that. The Red Line is very slow. It operates at an average of no more than about 18 miles an hour, and that's the best case estimate. And to compare that, a regular subway like that we have in Baltimore averages about 38 miles an hour, 36 miles an hour, and a bus averages 11 to 13 miles an hour depending on where you're going. So if you want to transfer from a bus and then go somewhere on a train, the train should go faster than the bus. But by the time you transfer from a 13 mile an hour bus onto an 18 mile an hour train and wait for the train, in fact, you've lost quite a bit of time. Also, they're only little tiny two-car trains, so they don't hold a lot of people, and they're not very fast. So not only are you waiting for a train, but then when the train gets there, it's not carrying that many people. So it doesn't have the capacity to be this major rail line moving people through the city.